What's going on, dudes and dudettes? So, yes, sadly, Evan Mobley, ex-USC player for the Cleveland Cavaliers, is going through an elbow injury as we speak. They say timetable is around 2 to 4 weeks, so hopefully it is on the quicker end. Not only because he has been playing really good, and it's to me right now the front runner for Rookie of the Year for the NBA, but I also have him on my fantasy team, so I don't want him out that late. But yes, he's been a really good surprise so far and definitely looking like the top guy. So definitely happy about that. And then USC basketball, as I mentioned in the last video, we're on the road in Florida to play against Florida Gulf Coast and the Eiffel's old place. And they did end up getting the victory 78-61. It was a little bit close there towards the end of the game, but luckily they were able to blow it out and get that victory pretty easily. I was happy about that. Boogie Ellis, the transfer, is playing very well. Travis Goodwin as well. Surprisingly, Isaiah Mobley, Evan Mobley's brother, is not playing as consistent, but he is still scoring and doing what he has to do here and there, and they're still winning, so that's all that matters. Hopefully he will be able to turn it up later in the season as well. Then for USC football, Jaxson Dart, the freshman, is getting his official first start of his freshman season against UCLA this weekend. So at least he's had a couple weeks to prepare. Sadly, they weren't able to get in an extra game against Cal last week, but he is gonna get thrown into the fire, and hoping all for the best. He knows the type of shoes he's stepping in, being the starting USC quarterback against a UCLA team. So I hope he brings his A game. It's a competitive game, and hopefully USC does come out with that victory. You never know. UCLA has looked like the better team this season, but USC always has a lot more talented players, so they should win. So we should see about that. And yes, sadly for the Chargers, pretty much a lot of their top starting defensive line, that includes Joey Bosa, Jerry Tillery, and Robert Covington, are all right now on the COVID-19 list. Bosa, as of right now, seems to be the one guy who might still have a chance to play Sunday against the Pittsburgh Steelers, because he is unvaccinated, but he is deemed as a close contact, so he does not have the virus himself, and as long as he gets 5 straight negative tests, then he should be fine. Hoping that happens, because they're pretty thin. They even ended up having to sign Brendan Fehoko, who is usually on their practice squad. I got young guy at LSU, so he's most likely gonna get a starting job. I know they signed another guy off their practice squad as well. Don't really know who he was, but yeah, that's the type of stuff the Chargers are gonna be dealing with, especially against a really good rookie running back out of Alabama, Najee Harris, who was one of my favorite running backs past couple years in college. But of course now we have to play him, and the main people that are going to stop him are mostly all out. So yes, hopefully we at least get Bosa. That's what I'm hoping for, but looks like it's slim pickings as of right now. And then surprisingly, the Staples Center is going to get a brand new name. So I've known it pretty much all my life as the Staples Center, where the Lakers play, but of course this is pretty much a money-making opportunity for the owners of the building, basically. So I believe it's going to be now named Crypto.com. Never really heard of that company, but a lot of Lakers players are already calling it the Crip and all this other stuff, so it's kind of funny. But yeah, Crypto.com Arena is now where the Lakers will be playing. It's pretty crazy. Had to get used to it instead of saying the Staples Center, but yeah, very interesting. And then, of course, I think it was earlier in the week that the Chicago Bulls played against my LA Lakers. They came into town, and of course, ex-USC player, ex-guy tried to get on the Lakers, DeMar DeRozan, ended up going off. He had 38 points, 6 assists, played very well in a blowout win for Chicago over LA. Even Anthony Davis got ejected, all this other stuff, but There was also a report from from DeMar DeRozan saying that he believed that he had a done deal to actually becoming an LA Laker during the offseason before the Lakers ended up trading for Russell Westbrook. So I don't know. I always still think back to what could have been of the type of team they would have had if they went with someone else other than Russell Westbrook. I personally, I'm already looking for trades on my own time to see if anything works to try to get rid of him, because even with LeBron James out and it's pretty much him and Anthony Davis running the show, it just doesn't seem like he can still bring any of the victories when one of the top players is out, like LeBron. So I don't know. Can't really rely on him. He's always up and down. They keep saying, just wait and he'll show up. The old Russell Westbrook, I don't know. I think he's just old Russell Westbrook, or just the worst part of Russell Westbrook's game, which sucks for the Lakers because they made this big old trade and lost a lot of their depth. But yeah, that's what we got to deal with. But onto some more positive news. Yes, the Anaheim Ducks. I haven't really talked about them just because I was just assuming they were on a losing streak, and yeah, and it didn't look good the first part of the year, so I kind of just stopped talking about them. And then ever since Halloween on the 31st till the other day against Washington, they have gone on a nice streak. They're 8-0, so no ties or nothing, but yeah, they're 8-0 against some pretty solid matchups as well, other playoff teams. So I don't know exactly where they are in the standings in the West, but yeah, it's pretty cool that they're on a win streak. Maybe I should avoid them even more, but of course now that I talk about them, they'll probably go on an 8-game losing streak. But I might tune in from time to time to see what they're doing, and I'll wait like another 8 games and we'll see what the record is right there. But yes, hoping for the best. I know Ryan Getzlaf ended up getting like his 1,000th career point the other day against Washington, so good for him. He's done it with one franchise, the Ducks, his whole entire career, which is kind of cool. Just hasn't been playing very well the past couple years, but hopefully we can get something going for his final year. Then, yes, ex-USC basketball player Chimezie Metu, who was with San Antonio but got cut and then signed with Sacramento this offseason. I kind of wonder why he did it, because they had a lot of good depth at his position there. But as of lately, the past couple weeks, he has been playing a lot and doing good, showing a lot of good numbers with that playing time. It just kind of sucks that he's eating into playing time of, Duke's more talented freshman to leave at the time, Marvin Bagley III. I know he's a guy that is wanting to be traded, and there are some trades that are on the table, but I don't know why the Kings have not pulled the trigger on it, especially if they're already playing guys over him to not, get Bagley injured before a trade. But yeah, I don't know. Just sucks. Hopefully Bagley can get a new change of scenery, and hopefully that could help out his career, because I still think he's definitely one of the more talented guys to come out of Duke in the past 5 to 10 years. So hoping he gets another chance and definitely can show him what he's made of. And yes, as I talked about the last time Duke was playing another game, I forgot who it was, but yes, it is Gardner Webb. And Duke pretty much handled it. I think it was like a 40-point victory, so I was never in doubt of that. But we did have some pretty interesting news that came out the morning of that game on Tuesday, that 2 Duke players were involved in a DWI incident. And one of them was Michael Severino, which is a bench player who really doesn't get much playing time, and he's actually the grandson of Coach K. But the other player was one of the more talented freshmen, Paolo Banchero. He's considered like a top 1 or 2 pick. But apparently Severino was the one that was driving while intoxicated, had, the limit .08, and he blew a stop sign, got stopped by police, and they were both charged with that. And I think Banchero was charged with aiding because he did not take over the driving responsibilities if he knew someone had been drinking or could be over the limit. So I guess they have court dates arranged early December, but we didn't see Savarino playing the game because I doubt we were going to see him play anyways in the last one, but Banchero did end up starting, and it doesn't look like he's going to get like a suspension or anything like that from the university or anything bad legally, but I think Savarino, the Coach K's grandson, might get a little bit more flack because he is the grandson of the main head coach, and yeah, it's gonna suck for him, but shouldn't be doing that, what he was doing. Obviously Banchero is a young guy, did not make the right judgment call right there, but I'm sure he's gonna get by without any controversy, which he should, but yeah, we'll see how this plays out. But yeah, as of right now, everything seems a-okay so far. And then Lakers made a bit of news, so they did end up signing Chaundi Brown, who was on their summer league team and was on their roster trying to make it before the season, but they ended up letting him go. They did let go of Sekou Diomba, who they signed once he was released from Detroit, but he was on the team, but you never really saw him dress out or ever really play, which is kind of weird. But yeah, they let him go, and I think he was dealing with an injury. And since a lot of other Lakers are dealing with injuries right now, they decided to sign someone who isn't injured from the South Bay Lakers. So hopefully I'm guessing he's going to get some playing time right now. But we did also get some news about LeBron James. So a couple days ago, they were optimistic. And then just like, I think it was yesterday, where they pretty much said that LeBron is right now 50-50 to be able to play in Friday's game against the Celtics on the road. So I mean, hopefully it is like a more mental thing and him wanting to get back before, to be able to play in the rivalry game. But I just think he wants to be able to do it just to be able to see how his body reacts to it. And he's not going to be out as long as he was, but he was out a lot longer than what they first projected. So hopefully it's all good. I know it's not going to solve a lot of the Lakers' problems, but it's at least a band-aid for now. And then when it comes to some miscellaneous news to finish this video, yes, a lot of people kept asking Tom DeLonge recently for some reason if he was going to ever rejoin Blink-182 again or have a chance to play with them live ever again. And of course he doubles down. He's always said before that he would love to whenever there was time available, and once again he's been saying like he talks to those guys regularly, even about the idea of playing together live. So I mean, I think it's inevitable that it will happen one day. I don't know if they would do a full tour, maybe like a one-time thing, but I don't know. It would be very cool to see and know that everything is all good as far as them not hitting each other, but I'm sure they would still be separate and do their own things afterward. But yeah, could only hope for some positive news in the near future. So yes, thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.